Hello, Carolyn.
Hi, Julie. Oh my goodness, doesn't it seem like such a long time since we've been together?
It has been a long time because, from my trip, I had to stay an extra day because my plane broke.
Oh,
So we missed last Tuesday.
So, Julie, that could only happen to you. Seriously.
Oh,
but folks, we are here.
Yes.
Julie and I, again, back to normal.
Back to normal. Yes.
And so, yes, and seems like it's been a very long time.
It has. It's been 2 weeks.
Boy, and 2 weeks can seem like 2 years sometimes.
It can.
And today it's such a dreary, rainy day, but we have some books to review and talk to you about. And it seems like we it's been such a long time, but it's only been a couple of weeks.
I know. But isn't it nice on a cold, dreary day to read a book?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is the best weather for book reading. Yep.
Yes.
It really is. Although I love to see the sunshine.
That's true. That's very true.
But we have to have these days,
Right. We just appreciate the sunny days more.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
So let's get right on down to it.
All righty.
So we have this. This is Truman Capote. It's a very small book, and it's not exactly autobiographical, but I think it means a lot to him because I think it was probably something that did happen. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's a Christmas memory, and it's about his the Christmas with one of his I think it's his grandmother, and the Walpole Players. We wanted to do this as a Christmas play.
Oh,
but unfortunately, nobody auditioned.
Oh, that could be a problem.
But anyway, maybe we can do it
another time.
But it's a sweet little book, and it's based on a true story. And there's a little picture, I think, of Truman supposedly as
he looks very different than him as an adult.
I'm sure that's not a picture of him. But anyway, this is actually a very nice seasonal story, a nice Christmas story. And it's a small book, but it is really nice.
And it's nice to read that kind of book this time of year.
Yeah.
I just recently read the guy who wrote Tuesdays with Morrie, whose name escapes me. Oh, Album. Mitch Album. Yes. So his new book is called The Stranger in the Lifeboat, which we have. And on the plane, I read the entire thing. I could not put it down. And it's a smaller book like that, but the story was just so compelling and so perfect for this season. So these kind of books are just lovely for this time of year.
And this particular little book includes one Christmas and a Thanksgiving visitor.
So you get some bonuses.
So you get 3 in 1.
Yes.
So good for you, Truman. Oh boy. Nicholas Sparks. Dreamland. And look at this picture of Nicholas. Isn't he a dreamboat?
He's younger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because he writes so, like middle-aging.
He does.
Because he's wise.
He's wise, exactly. Yes. I would have pictured him to be much older.
Me too, but he is a handsome young
There we
chap,
go.
isn't he? And this is a nice one, Dreamland. Colby Mills once felt destined for a musical career until tragedy grounded his aspirations. Now the head of a small family farm in North Carolina, he spontaneously takes a gig playing at a bar in St. Beach, Florida. Wow. So what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know.
I think that this young man, Colby, is going to have a renaissance.
Ooh.
That's what I think. But Nicholas Sparks is a great storyteller.
He is. He delves very much into human emotions and relationships and
and most of his books, you read one, you don't have to read them in order.
Right.
because all the stories do stand alone.
Yeah.
And he always has a really charming, interesting tale. And
I think I have read one of his books, but now you have got me curious, and I'm going to have to look through and see if I have. I thought I have, but sometimes I get him confused with Nicholas Evans, who I also adore. So
yeah, well, his most of his all of the stuff that I've read, it always involves human emotions and the highs and the lows, but always his characters are somebody that you can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend this book by this handsome young man, Nicholas Sparks. Yes, well he does love stories like nobody else. Okay, so what do we have here? Isn't this pretty?
Oh, Jeffrey Archer.
Jeffrey Archer.
Yes. Talk about a storyteller.
Wow. Next in line.
Yes.
Wow. 48 hours to track down a killer. Even less time to save the crown. Wow. This is Detective William Warwick's toughest mission yet. And this is so timely, because who's in the news these days? The royal
Royals.
family.
Yes, they are.
I know. Kate and William were visiting Boston.
Yes.
Harry and Meghan have another dilemma or whatever. I'll tell you, those two, why don't you just... you don't want to be in the limelight. Well, then shut up.
Tell us how you really feel, Carolyn.
I have a lot of sympathy for Meghan and Harry. I'm sure it's been very traumatic for Harry, giving the way Princess Diana was hounded, and I'm sure he's been affected by that. But I think if he wants a quiet life, he'll stay out of the news.
And this book is about Princess Diana. It's set in, I think it said 1988.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, London, 1988. Royal fever sweeps the nation as Britain falls in love with the people's princess.
Who was Princess Di?
Who was Princess Di.
Yes.
And apparently she was a very remarkable young woman who headed into what she thought was a romance of, tragedy for her.
Yes.
And so, and I can almost understand, Harry's feelings about publicity and stuff like that.
But I think this will be interesting to read, because we're going to get, well, it looks like we're going to get behind the scenes on the security and how they really do, because you look at them in front of crowds and you think, how in the world can they be protecting them? And I'm hoping we'll get a little behind the scenes here.
Right. And you hardly ever see them.
Right.
Surrounding here, not like, they're Secret Service or anything like that.
Right.
But Jeffrey Archer is a great storyteller.
Oh, he sure is.
And
yes.
and he has many volumes.
He does.
To attest to that. But this guy is Detective Chief Inspector William Warwick from Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard. Ooh, I saw Scotland Yard last time I was in London.
Ooh,
just the building, nothing else. They didn't invite me in.
Oh
no.
Well, would have been. But anyway, and this Jeffrey Archer, he has so many.
He does. He has series. He has standalones.
And if you're a first-time Jeffrey Archer reader, you are bound to fall in love with his storytelling style.
Yes.
And lucky for you, if you're just now delving into Jeffrey Archer, there's mounds of books to explore. There
sure is.
And every single one of them
are good.
They're good to read. They're standalone.
He's quite Jeffrey. The storyteller.
Quite the storyteller.
Yes.
And isn't that what book reading is about? You're reading a story.
Right, you're reading a story.
And you know, and then if you're like me, you fall in love with the characters. And John Connolly, I haven't read too many of his, but the ones that I have read, I've enjoyed. And this one looks like a real good. The Furies.
The Furies.
Right.
It always makes me, that title always makes me think of the Fates and the Furies.
The Fates and the Furies, right. But this one sounds pretty good. Ooh. Chaos, murder,
Oh, there we
and
go.
the supernatural. Descend on private investigator Charlie Parker's hometown of Portland, Maine.
There you go, right up the road from here.
I know. I just might have to take this for someday to read. But anyway, this sounds like a really good one. Yeah.
So, does it give us a hint of what the murder and mayhem is going to be?
What? Private investigator Charlie Parker is drawn into a complex wedge of vengeance with women at its heart. Ooh. In a trio of cases, Parker comes to learn that the female of the species is not just deadlier than the male, but often cleverer too.
Ooh.
Now, doesn't that sound like enticing?
It does. It very much does.
Yeah.
I love a good, strong woman character.
Right. Wow. And you know, and any book about places that that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And so you read the book and they're talking about Portland. So I've been there.
I've been there. I know where that is.
Yes,
I think I should go to Portland again.
I've been shopping in that store. Been drinking in that store. But Portland, Maine is
it's lovely. Yeah, I've only been there a couple of times, but I loved it. Yeah,
I know, it's such a unique, picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has the water, it has the hills. It's
the rocks. I love a good rocky coast.
Oh yeah. And shopping is
restaurants.
Restaurants.
All right, let's all read the book and plan a trip to Portland.
Exactly. So here the Furies. So watch out for women. So anyway, this looks really good. I love this cover.
Ooh, maybe that's one you'll do us a sneak peek Saturday on. Just saying.
No,
I know you don't like to tell us, but...
No, but that's a very good suggestion. And so for my oldies but goodies, I'm going to my favorite author, Charles Todd, who actually is, he writes these books with his mother.
Oh!
Yes, so they're a duo. And it's Ian Rutledge is the Scotland Yard investigator, just back from World War I, where he was on the front lines, and as with most soldiers on the front line, he saw a lot, and he's very much still plagued by it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a very good investigator. He gets right down to the heart of the matter, and he always solves his cases.
Ah.
And he has a touring car, Rolls Royce.
Well, it's pretty fancy for an investigator.
Well, because he's from the wealthy class,
ah.
and so he knows a lot of hoity-toity people with a lot of money. But he's a deep down investigator in London with the Scotland Yard, and he has this, one of the troops that he had in his platoon during World War I was from Scotland, the Highlands, and one of the characters in all his books is kind of a ghost that haunts Inspector Rutledge, but and tries to advise him.
Oh, and so a good kind of haunting.
Yes, and his name is Hamish.
Hamish. Oh, I love that as a good
Hamish,
Scottish name.
Yeah, I think it's Hamish Macbeth. and so he's so Inspector Rutledge always has Hamish in the back of his rolls, driving along with him, and the Charles Todd is actually a dual authorship with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
She has since passed away, so I think
so now he's writing on his own.
Yeah, so he's writing on his own, and he has written many of them. You don't have to read them in order.
Okay.
But there's a slew of them. They're always interesting because he describes the times in the countryside and post World War I, London, England.
Yes.
So You don't have to read them in order, but I would suggest, if you're interested, to go to the first one and get a glimpse of what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you like it, there's many more.
There's many more.
There's
yes.
many more. And this is
Yeah.
the latest one, which I read, which I really liked. So,
You do always get very excited when new ones come into the library by him.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And,
Yeah.
you know, and we have all kinds of new books.
We do.
When I
we
was
do.
there last night, I went, oh my God, what am I going to pick? And, yeah. So please, people, there's plenty of books to read.
Yes, and more are on the way.
More on the way.
Yes.
And this is the time of year when you've gone through the rush of getting your Christmas things together, and you just want to sit down and relax for an hour or two with a good book.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, come visit us.
Come visit us at the library.
At the libraries.
That's right.
And
Yes.
because we have a whole bunch of them. So
We sure do.
So when you're seeking a quiet time with a good book,
We got your back.
we got your back. Yes. So I guess that's it for this week.
And when will we see you again?
on Saturday.
On Saturday,
For,
yay.
guess what?
What?
Sneak Peek Saturday.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.